Yeah, would you please? Yeah. So this is a continuation of the public hearing, and I want to thank you all for coming. I'm Joe Pierce. I'm chair of the planning board. David Strock is vice chair. I'll use better paper. Mike Houston and Don Sharp and Allison Busigian, who has just been hired to be our administrative assistant. So this is her trial by fire. Great to have the help. Come in, please. There are chairs. So we're just still exploring this application. We've been through what, 2-3 meetings so far, looking at it. And if you have questions, please address them to the chair. It keeps things more orderly. We do want to hear from you. We do want to know what your thoughts are. And so with that, I'm going to hand it over to Jamie to tell us how things have evolved.
Good evening. My name is Jamie Garland. I'm a Mainland Development Consultant. Here tonight on behalf of Andrew Porter. We're here with 7-lot subdivision off of Pitchen Brook Road. Division consists of 4 roughly 3-acre lots, 1 15-acre lot, and 2 larger, around 70-acre lots. We've been following this. The original plan did not show areas that could be cleared of houses. We are showing those on here to show what can be done. The applicant does not have any intent right now to build anything on these properties, so we're figured into what could be done on these areas. Since the last plan that came in, we added in those cleared areas. On lots 1 through 7, we did bring in the 500 and 1,000 foot setback for SR Saco River Border Commission. We've talked with the fire chief. I think we're in tentative agreement on access to the road. Anyone who's going to reach out to you, Josiah.
We've talked.
Have a conversation on this. And then we've added a few notes really around clearing because there's a nuance to it. While this does appear to be a large area, the nuance between stormwater management, overall clearing to the land. And so I've tried to cover those with notes 12 through 17 on the plan to show really homeless and without knowing what we're trying to do, besides subdivide the land. So I think there are questions.
So you mentioned that Steve Sanders might talk to me, and he did. He was concerned that the driveway be at least 20 feet wide.
Yeah, and that's what we propose on here.
And he was talking about water because the truck in Baldwin carries 1,000 feet of hose, and that house is 2,000 feet in from the road. He was recommending reservoirs of some kind.
Yeah. What we would offer is, again, right now it's a possibility for the road to go that far in. Look to put a condition in the plan that if a house is built this far back, then a 10,000 gallon water system be put in to support fire fighting services.
Okay.
Because again, one of the things Andrew and I have been talking about is he does have on lot 6, he does have buildable area actually at my road as well.
Okay.
And so I hate to put a 10,000 gallon cistern in for something that doesn't that 1,000 feet away.
So condition it on the permit, the building permit.
I put it right on the plan to move forward with this. That lot 7, 18 would be if the road on lot 6, driveway on lot 6 exceeds, what the fire chief for a distance, that a 10,000 gallon cistern would be required to install.
How do you think that would work out having you know it on the plan?
I think that's a good idea because if somebody wants to build, look it up on the plan and that's the requirement.
So if it's right on the plan, it's going to work.
It should work just fine. So they wouldn't get a permit, so we push it to get.
Okay, sure.
That's what I would do. I can't speak for what somebody else. Some the plan, that's a good thing.
Good.
So we'll need to put it in until I was.
Yep. Does anybody on the board have any questions? David?
So I was trying to figure out, when you look up here, it's delineated Quaker Brook. I live on Quaker Brook. Pigeon Brook right here, it's delineated through here. Looks like it cuts off the bottom portion there. But when I come down here, I don't see it. Where is that?
This is just transfer runoff. It's actually this here. So I've got some, in CAD, these are layers, and something's been pulled down. So this should come, this U.
So that's
this U probably right here. Looking at this.
okay. Okay, so this would be, so how's that, it comes up like that though?
No, yeah, it's on the screen.
It looks like it goes to socks.
It's now. So this just has been shifted in my drawing on the Lucas Hill.
Okay, can we get that fixed?
Yep.
Does anybody in the audience have any questions, concerns? Yes.
So we'll be responsible for that 10,000 gallons.
Whoever wants to take out a building permit. Well, when they take out the building permit, they want to buy the lot and just grow trees. They don't need it. Yes.
If these projects are completed, will there be any plans to improve Pigeon Brook Lake?
I don't know. Not my job, man. You know, yeah.
Three animal tests. I mean, it's pretty much it.
Well, that's the road commissioner and probably the selectmen. But, you know, in rough shape is kind of what goes, you know, with the name of every road in town. You know, we don't have that kind of money to be paving roads a lot. Any other questions? Yes, Wes.
Two thoughts, two questions. There's a lot of lowland, wetland maps in this area, and in our newer comprehensive plan, there's recommendations of having land available for recreation in the town. Would it be advisable right into the subdivision permit that in the future this would be considered the land that's not buildable?
I didn't really understand you. I'm sorry. I need.
Okay. Again, the rear area of this plot of ground, which is along the South River, is quite a bit of wetland,
Yeah.
not buildable,
Yep.
and it's a stretch. And in our recent comprehensive plan, we recommended the town to make available recreation land for the citizens to be written into the subdivision permit that in the future this would be considered available recreation land.
I don't see how we legally could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Sure.
And the other thing is being a subdivision allows the addition of gateways.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to.
Being a subdivision, the LD law 200 ADUs, they are not allowed to be added to the subdivision.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So,
Yes.
showing houses to go through this subdivision process. The applicant is just subdividing now and doesn't have any long-term plan. I would say within the next 5 years, no plan to build anything. But we have to show, we've got to show what could be, so we can show that the lots are buildable, they have the area, and we meet those checklists for the subdivision application.
Yes.
Not the last meeting, the meeting before, there was discussion of that road accessing lot 6.
Yep.
Has that been determined yet? That lot, originally, I think both lots were gonna come in off of one drive and split.
So that has changed.
It has changed.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to come up and look at the map?
Yeah, I will afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jamie, can you point to the access road, serving lot 6?
So that was the sidewalk. We moved the property line between lot 7 and 6 closer to the existing, the access gate that was there. Yep. And so now we're showing a road, a driveway coming in. If you get that access drive, there's a telephone pole, and then in that area would be the access drive coming in.
Jamie, just to follow up on that. Looks like what he's showing it on the map, the access, doesn't follow the existing trail.
Yeah, we've shifted it over. Wanted to shorten it up by going wider. We're going to impact more areas, so
So you have more clearing to put that road in.
you'll have a clearing to go through for the road. But shortening it up,
What's gonna happen to the existing trail?
it'll stay consistent. There's no intent to do anything
So
with it.
they use it for ATVs or
Most likely that would be up to Andrew, and I know he's working with. What group are you with? I'm sorry.
I'm a member of both.
Snowmobile. Yeah, I know he's been actively talking to
so
them.
it's not a matter of just abandoning that and restoring it back to.
No, it's not going to go back to. There's no intent to go put one and seed down, bring that up to grass. It's going to stay as is. I know Andrew has already been out riding on it.
So that would still remain as a trail.
There's a trail on the project.
There'll have additional clearing for the new road.
Correct. Yes.
Driveway would be 20 feet wide, they're probably 40 feet wide.
No, 20 feet wide and 3 foot, most likely for a ditch. So just keep the water contained the way it's naturally going. So I'd say 26 feet. Going up through there.
Got a few steep slopes here, might need some culverts.
Yeah.
Don't need to look at that, right?
Yeah, and again, the road is just if this is where he ends up, if he builds something. If you looked at it, it would still have to go to Saco River border for review and approval. We did.
Part of that has been 500-year zone and ordinance in the past.
Correct.
The letter, it seemed like you only have to go back to 500.
The 500, yeah. So what I've done is to take that email we got from Saco River Border Commission, I've actually put it as a note on the plan that if anything's done on 5, 6, or 7, they need to go to Saco River Border Commission for approval.
I thought that was a good letter from Saco.
Yeah. And we have reached back out to them just to continue the conversation, so if anything comes through, we'll provide the planning board.
Yes.
Who maintains that road? Is that
It's a
private?
driveway. Who
Okay.
maintains your driveway?
Okay, so it's just like that. He's responsible for maintenance.
So I couldn't hear Wes's comment on the ADU. What were you referring to, Wes?
ADU, there's a state law that, was discussed a little more than 2 years ago, about 3 years ago, and finally, taken care of by the town. ADU is referred to a building dwelling unit. And, usually residential lots can have only one single house or a duplex, but this ADU law has expanded that houses, building lots can have up to 4 living units. I believe it's, either all 4 units are in one building, or you could have 1 unit separate. And the catch to it is that when you have an ADU on a lot, the landowner, the owner has to live in one of the units. So otherwise, you don't have a proper
side?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the square footage of the ADU involved?
That I don't believe there's a regulation on that yet. Tiny homes, not have any more than 400 square feet of living space on the first floor. Now, there's a couple exceptions to that. Is one, porches, garages, sheds don't come at living space for that seat, in addition to the first floor, ground floor. The second floor could be larger. So you have almost 400 feet on a living space on the first floor and a porch. The second floor could overhang on the porch or something like that. So there's more expansion available as well as the cellar. It's not included in the ground level regulation.
Well, so if I could say a lot of this is fantasy because the state passed a bunch of laws this last session which throw confusion on all this, and as legislatures do nowadays, they pass skeletal laws that then the administration fleshes out, so we don't really know what's coming down. So, it's just, it's fantasy. Any more questions on this subdivision?
Yeah, Jamie, can you talk about the gray area, which on the other map is green? Can you describe what that is?
Yes, item number 27. Something in my head. I was trying to help you guys working on it.
21, I think.
21. Bear with me 1 second, David.
Yeah.
I've gotten smarter. I learned this off because I was trying to get Wi-Fi.
You have a checklist that Matt gave us.
Packet of this from Terry.
Yeah.
I don't think you have it before.
So this is can't find the exact language, but
So 21 says, which is a factor that we're supposed to look at. The application shall include the following. And 21 says the area on each lot where existing forest cover will be permitted to be removed and converted to lawn, structures, or other cover, and any proposed restrictions to be placed on clearing existing vegetation.
So that's the intent of these gray areas to show the potential area that could be cleared for structural lawn. Not inclusive of that is the entire area that will be cleared. There are caveats to that and that. For lots 6, 7, and part of 5, to clear anything below the 500-foot setback, we need to go to Saco River Corridor Commission. Next line down.
So you're leaving your options as open as you can.
As flexible because I don't know what we want to do. So what we've done is try to build a box, and that step 1 is you can build anything within your building setback and outside of the resource protection zone on your property. The next step is if you're in a zone that now triggers Saco River Corridor Commission, you have to get approval for them for any clearing and building. And then the third one I put in there as wetlands change over time, that if there's any natural resources, and when I say change, wetland area grows. I've never done a project where we've gone back and found less wetlands, I always find more. So we're trying to think ahead here. Now it will require to get any DEP, natural resources permitting prior to building.
So this is all in tree growth right now?
Correct.
When does the plan to take any land out of tree growth times?
It's gonna change, because lots 1 through 4 will no longer meet the requirements for tree growth.
Yep.
Lots 5, 6, and 7, and again, this is Andrew's gonna do the numbers back and forth.
Sure.
Most likely stay within tree growth for the time being.
The majority of those lots.
Yeah.
Still might have portions of those, 5, 6, and 7 that.
Yeah, I told him to sit down and really figure out what is his long-term plan. He's gonna keep it, just open for 10 years. It may make sense to keep the whole thing in, tree growth in 10 years from now.
And that's they needed it.
Yeah, or if you think in the next 5 years, you want to do, something on lot 7. And
Or he could amend it, he could amend his plan now.
Yeah, and it's like, I'll give that to his options, to figure out, so, we'll have to have that answer to you, for the final application. We will.
We're
So
gonna bring up.
that's where I was going.
Yes, yeah. So I started to lay the foundation for that question.
Jamie, I got one comment on 5 and 6. Part of that green area covers a steep slope area. I think by ordinance, we can't
Over 20%.
can't build over 20%. And that looks to me like it is over 20%. That crook did, where the contours are real tight.
That'd be for building, but we could, in theory, I wanted to show everything you could clear for lawn, such data. So I was trying
I'm
to.
looking on, it's on page 49, talks about woodland buffers and so forth. It doesn't really get too much into the details other than really not supposed to do anything within the 20% slope. The first one, woodland buffers, IA, no disturbance. They call it no disturbance. So I don't question that area being green across those contours.
So that goes back up to the phosphorus section, it looks like, for phosphorus control 1116. I agree with you.
I just question that being shaded green. That's steep slope areas.
And we'll gladly, final bring this in tighter. Tighten up the areas.
It's just my opinion, shouldn't be included. Just steep slope.
So we tee that up a little closer, so, the vegetated, or the green, it straddles 6 and 7. What you're saying is that change in elevation, the tight lines it runs up through, pretty much through the middle of it.
That's steep slope area.
And you're saying that under the ordinance, that may not be a
Developable land.
buildable area?
Right.
And Jamie, what did you say you're gonna do?
I'm saying, so I believe that, so when you do a subdivision, you take wetland area, steep slopes over 20%, and, wetland steep slopes. And there's one more item, out of your total land area, and that gets you never enough calculation. You can still have steep slopes that you have cleared in your property. What I'm gonna offer is that we will take that out, just in agreement. I think the area that we're looking at in the code is under phosphorus, which we can fall under. But I do agree, trying to do something on 20% slope.
Yeah, but you can go further into it. I think it shows up one more place that talks about 20%.
So where I'm going is I agree. We can come back for final with that.
That'd be great.
This area pulled out.
Right where the contours are tight.
Yeah.
And what about over on 6, on that corner, is that too tight? For the roads coming in, right at the bottom there, there's like 6 lines that are fairly tight. I can't tell what that slope is.
I can't remember the slope, but it's less than 20% for that area.
Is it? Okay.
It's pretty tight.
But we are 200 feet. So I agree with you in this area here.
Okay.
Take a look at it.
And so the green, getting back to the green, I'm just trying to get my head around this. So you're saying that once we fix this, the areas straddling 6 and 7, and you're saying under our ordinance, the green represents buildable area?
Area that could potentially be cleared for building for structures, driveways, and garages. I'm not saying holistically the whole area.
No, I said, well, I mean,
I'm not saying that because on lot 6 it shows this is all green, that once you approve this, we clear the whole thing out.
oh, no, I get that. So then, in order to build in the green, whoever wants to build has to worry about the vernal pool issues and DEP.
No, I'm saying if they want to build, so there are areas that are free and clear. I don't want to hinder anybody. You can, in the vernal pool right now, until they change the rule, you can impact 25% of the 250-foot buffer of a vernal pool with a permit by rule. It's a 20-day statutory permit.
I'm trying to make this easier. So the green might be reduced by the DEP when somebody actually builds. Like they may or may not.
If they can't acquire a permit from the DEP, that green area would shrink.
Yeah. And then it also might shrink because the Saco River Corridor Commission on 6 and 7, I guess 5, it's really 6 and 7, isn't it?
6 and 7.
That they may say that there's some sort of restriction on the area green.
That could be clear.
Other than those two restrictions, is there any other way that the green would be reduced?
So the last one is, because this drains to the Saco River and the whole area drains naturally down through there, we have put a condition on here that to keep us under 5% of cleared area.
Is that 5% of each lot or 5% of the?
It can be either way. You can do it, you can yank it so that the lot itself and the way the ordinance is written says 5% of the subdivision area is not required. If you stay below that, you don't need to have a stormwater management plan. And so in putting that into the intent is to keep us under, and if any plan was to go bigger than that, you would then have to come to the planning board to amend the subdivision for a stormwater management plan.
That's 17.
Yes.
Okay.
And for reference, that is, 5% sounds small.
After that, we're talking about access to lot 6. Lot 5 is really one part, if you get property line between lot 4 and 5, it's 5 over 60 feet, but the right of way right between lot 4 and 5, that's wonderful to be able to lot 6.
You have to go over the brook though. Yeah, you gotta go over the brook. We asked about that in the first meeting, and they said they looked at it, they didn't think they had the space. But it's a great point, because I think we asked the same question.
Now, that's why I said lot 5, because lot 5 is different, basically 60 years, but lot 5.
Yeah, and they get to choose how they parse it out. I mean, we're not here to micromanage too much, but
Just to close that loop up, the 5% equates to 8 acres of land.
yeah.
As part of that, so it's not a case of where, it's not a case you're in a phosphorus watershed where you can only clear 12,000 square feet per lot. You got 8 acres over 7 lots.
It seems like lot 7 is really tight.
So lot 7 is big in size, but it's just covered in wetlands and floodplain.
But if you take out the gray and you look at your septic, you got a really small building area.
If you take out the wetlands, septic and steep slope, it's not much.
Yeah. you have a place, you have an area to put a house.
Where you show the house, probably what you got, that little triangle.
Yeah, yes, I agree with you. Lot 7 was shown there, so it's most likely what's happening.
But even the marker for lot 7, that's wet. We didn't see that on the sidewalk. So I went and looked afterwards, it's very wet.
Yeah, wet this summer is.
Yeah.
wet. Yep. Are there any other questions? Yes.
Approximately how much of that area in acres between 6 and 7 is shaded in dark gray? How many square feet? Your buildable area. Give me 1 second.
I'm guessing 15,
Well, thank you.
Acres.
15 acres, probably 14 and a half, 15 acres.
They gave that St. John's.
2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's 2,000 feet by 120, 1,200.
Allison, what have we asked for so far solidly
No,
in this?
I'm wrong on that. I'd say around 15. Yeah, that doesn't matter, doesn't work out.
Okay. Comparing it to the other small lots,
Do you have that, what we've asked for? So, could I have that list? Could you tell us what it is that we've asked for?
Exactly what you asked for.
Yeah.
Well, I have written down all the different questions that everybody has.
Yeah.
And, obviously, we're looking to have that area, that shaded in green or gray, depending on what you're looking at, reduced depending on where that slope is to show the actual area, so that you have a better idea of what we're looking at. But also have all the
that's all we're asking.
but certainly to kind of reduce that.
I'm just sort of trying to get bullet points, so that we know where we're going, because we're at a point where we could accept this preliminary application, or we could accept it with conditions, or we could talk to Jamie and say, would you like to make these changes, and come back with a better document? How would you like to handle it? And so I was just sort of trying to get a read. What is it that we've asked you to do at this point to bring this to its perfection?
Maybe to fix the picture broke up in the top left.
Yeah.
Locus.
And to deal with the greater than 20-degree slope on 6, 7. I think those are the only two we've asked them to do.
Okay. Okay.
And then in 12, the limits of existing forest coverage for clearing FRO, which that's supposed to be from, for, on 12?
Oh, and 12?
Yeah.
4.
4, okay, you change that. And then when you compare the two maps, you got owner of record is Brendan 24 Holdings, and you're in Victor Park B3. Do you see the old one? Does Andrew own this personally, or is it through an LLC?
And then this map is labeled differently.
Yeah. I just happen to have a map like that.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Do you have the original application we submitted? I I've been too kind and given away my plans as I've come here.
Yeah, we're not exactly sure where to do this, so.
This is just the green drawing is just a figure, and I'm questioning where
Just make
this
it right.
is the correct, the subdivision plan that we're here to look and improve is the correct one. I don't know why on this figure.
So I've got another request for you, Jamie. I'd like to have the deed. What is,
We have,
You have the deed,
that's the deed for, what is that a deed for?
the property.
Yeah, you don't need the name.
oh, that's right, I think that's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
We have them just to get to know them. It was on the table. But we have no time copy, so.
okay, okay.
My map and
But what I'm asking is, if there are two different names here, I'd like to have the name on the deed match the name of the.
Yeah, he'll do that. But, I mean, he see two names. One is what?
Porter Lane subdivision.
Subdivision. The other one was
Brendan Bolden's.
Reed. I think in your letter you said you're going to be using the
So the name has changed to
Porter Lane. Nice.
And so the owner of record is Ricker Park, B2 LLC, and Williams is one of the record is running.
Yeah, he'll fix it on the final.
That's not function.
Yeah, then again, I apologize, I don't know.
No problem.
So it seems to me like this is much more progressed, it's much better than it was. I think we're pretty close to where we need to be. And I think we need to read the notes, see if all the conditions are in there and they're worded the way we want, but it seems like this is a solid preliminary plan. And then the few things that we're asking for, we change to the final plan.
So are we ready to approve this plan? What? You're right. We're still in the public hearing.
Right, we need to close that and legal.
But I don't want to close it until we're sure where we're going.
Right, but I mean, take a vote, I think we should.
Sure. So we're saying that that's where we want to go, is to accept this as where we are, as a preliminary plan.
Yeah, we still have to make a choice about the dollars.
We put that off until to see if we need it. If there's anything that's going to happen if we need it. We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
I think when David addressed our request, last meeting, I mean, somebody find it, just, I think we could put that in as a condition or something.
So we want to close out the public hearing?
No question.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is he able to develop all those blocks at the same time?
Yeah. Same thing you could do out back of your house. Yes.
Is all this gonna be posted on the town website? Do updated map?
As we go along, we will try to do that. If we don't, please let us know. You know, the ball sometimes gets dropped because there's too many people involved in juggling it, but it's unintentional if it's not there, okay? Yeah, we would. So, I declare the public hearing closed. Open a meeting of the planning board. So we have minutes from the July 31st meeting that have not been approved. And did we have one after July 31st in August also already? No. Okay. Just the July 31st meeting. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Move to approve it submitted.
And all those in favor? Right, because that was the meeting for minutes we're using as a base for where we're going. So, old business. Yes, there are two more things that have to go on there besides the changes on the map. You need to have a note about the water reservoir. Yep. And you're going to have a note about the road being 20 feet wide.
Yes.
Yep.
I think we asked for a section on that too, for the section. You give us like a cross section. So
Didn't be here a cross section.
we're going to tell you and I take the driveway.
Again, we're just showing where we, where to go.
That's not what thickness of the pavement.
I mean, maybe a standard detail for gravel thickness.
Yeah, I would like to see.
Tom, are you okay with the cistern note being tied into, there's two of them?
Cistern note tied into lot 6.
The road width, I combine those into one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you need to build the road until you have a building permit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tie it into, the FEMA fire protection.
But I mean, we dealt with the wood, just 20 feet, I think, by fire protection. Just the way of the road, what's just the road section, and it hold it from.
Yeah.
Your whole fire trucks.
Yep. Yep.
It ties into the whole issue of fire access.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll get you we'll have, in the final application, we'll have the cross section for, but in the note, I'll just, if the road exceeds.
Or you can refer to the ordinance with the section that was built in accordance with that. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
So, are we accepting this preliminary application?
I can solve that for now.
Okay. Okay.
It's not final.
No.
So I think we need a motion on all of the application complete.
Preliminary application.
Preliminary application is complete.
Yep.
Make that motion.
And second is, all right, all those in favor of accepting the preliminary application? All right. Good. Planning ahead on this. Now we're looking at our next meeting in August.
Yes, I think we probably would, schedule a final review August 28th.
Okay.
Contingent on him
Providing.
Okay.
Fixing the problem. Or if he doesn't fix them, he doesn't get it, so.
Yeah. Straightforward.
I promise I'll go back and mail somebody for that.
Yeah.
Map.
Chris.
So do we need to notice that?
Yeah.
And that will be a notice to say, well, so are we done with public hearings on this? I'm a little,
No.
it's been a little messy.
We need one more.
We need one more public hearing, so.
I think it's been messy.
It's thoughtful. Fine, okay. Being thoughtful. So are we,
We're gonna notice for the next meeting, public hearing.
we don't have enough time to do an August 28th public hearing, it would have to be the September public hearing. Right, we just don't have to get it published in the shopping guide. 10 days and so forth.
Oh, we can do it. We get it out Monday.
Okay,
That's what we did for this meeting.
okay,
We had 10 days to go out Monday.
okay,
So it has to go out Monday. Yeah. Send everything out Monday.
Okay,
We'll send it out the same,
yep, okay. So we'll do it then, and we'll,
So when did we have to submit the final, like, it can't be the day before.
yeah, not 3 hours before.
It wasn't 3 hours before.
I got it 3 hours before.
Yeah, it was before it, but, do we want it by the Monday, so we can post it on the web? The Monday before, can you get it to us, Sandy?
That would be great.
Okay. The only other thing I have is that house on lot 7. I really think you should look at that and look at the slope and like, where do you have that house?
That was where I was in.
Yeah, well, most likely, I mean, right now it's a daylight basement house, walk-up basement, we can slide it ahead. I may even just for, my sanity, pull it outside the house and put them in that full block 7.
That would be great.
Just look at it, because it is, it's really tight in there on that slope, and you're right, it could be done.
It doesn't have to, you could just use the front setback on it.
Yes.
Behind the front setback.
But it might be better if you could just shorten that a little bit. That's up to you. And then, are you saying that since the green is the buildable area, are you agreeing not to, other than forestry management, cut the rest of the area, or what's the concept on the non-green?
So the, definitively on lots 6 and 7, the non-green areas, are within Sauk River Port Commission or within the 250-foot, resource protection zone. And so, again, due to the size of those, it makes sense to keep those in, forest management plan.
Yeah.
Lots 1 through 4, yes, those could, those are gonna fall off the forestry exemption, for the size, so those could be, again, you could go to the full width there. And then lot, 5, sorry, I'm looking at numbers. Lot 5, is the same thing, but again, it's mostly, whoever does build in these, one is gonna want a buffer from, sorry.
Hi.
My neighbor, a buffer from them, and then you got clearance with road going in, so it does really limit the area. So it's just, the house was left and right a little bit.
If Andrew would be interested in agreeing to have a vegetated buffer in the plan, it'd be helpful.
I just, as I was saying, I kind of thinking if I live there and you live there.
You can just ask him. I mean, we can't require it.
No, I'm just thinking, I try to look at these things if I had to live there.
Yeah. It might be a good thing for that lot 5 to agree to have some sort of vegetated barrier. I don't know what the back end of that property looks like. Do you have a vegetated barrier on your side?
I am cleared almost to the backside.
Have you?
Be like maybe 10, 15 feet from the line on that side. On the side that the driveway for lot 5 comes in, I'm, I don't know, 30, 40 feet away from the lot line clear. So there's a little bit of a buffer on that side.
Maybe y'all could have an agreement. If you keep the 30 feet, he keeps 30 feet, you know.
Yeah, I don't plan on ever clearing that anyway, just because it's nice to have a little woods.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, if you could do that, James, that'd be awesome.
Buffer. Yeah.
That's all I have.
Yep. I'm just making sure everybody's had their say. So, I don't have anything more to come before the board.
Yeah, on the agenda?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. All right. So for this, we get it Monday. We'll do our best to get it to the town, get it posted Monday, the Monday before the meeting, whatever day that is. Yep. And then, and Don, are you gonna do the notices?
I'll do it.
Okay. We got all the info. So good. So I think this is much better. Much better. Yeah, I don't know, maybe either. All good? Do we, well, is there any update on our in-house people?
So, Don, do you want to talk to us about your activities in the last week or two?
Spent a lot of time this past weekend in Shutting Land. I've done the return stuff. We got everything all signed and filed with the court. So it's all within that court. What we're trying to do, we filed the whole case against them. But we also filed for the media court order to cease operation of the court cases.
This is on Route 11, people that go around in circles and
Right.
do something.
Well, they have burnout already there. They have 150 cars at the time. It caused quite a problem, especially in San Francisco. And I did outside near covered with salt. And they're also selling food there. And they're charging admission, and now they started a motocross event center there. And it's all in rural residential. Didn't want any of that, they paid it. They were unwilling to come in. I tried everything I could to get them to come in and talk. And we didn't really have a whole lot.
Huh? And what about the golf course guy? Have you talked to him?
Yeah, he's moving ahead with all the
Okay. At the next meeting, I'll bring the conditions. I'll review the meeting, minutes, and I'll bring a list of the conditions so we can verify the conditions.
So what I did was I talked to him, he's very busy. And, just didn't want to deal with it right now, he's got too much to do.
Okay. That's great.
So, I mean, if you want to do that, you can, but let it tonight some more. I might do find it.
Okay, maybe I'll do the list and then you can decide whether we talk about it. Yeah. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Move to adjourn.
And the second?
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning? We're
You can
adjourned.
vote too, yeah.
All right.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah.